My 32-year-old female stepsister Kate, 34-year-old female, has always had a complex about physical appearance. It caused a lot of issues for her and all of us over the years and stopped her and I from really having a relationship. She got therapy in her ID20S male and eventually got to the point of what she calls aesthetic neutrality, which means she never comments on anyone's appearance, and we are asked not to comment on hers, positively or negatively. Fair enough. She enforces this with her 7-year-old daughter Zara as well. She asked from the time Zara was born that we never make comments relating to Zara's appearance, even if they were nice things. Everyone in the family normally follows this. A few days ago we were all visiting my parents' country house for the weekend, and Zara and my 5-year-old Anya were playing dress-up. They came downstairs and my daughter ran over to me and my husband to show us her outfit, and we said she looked beautiful in her dress. My husband took Anya to get a snack and Zara came over to me looking pretty dejected and asked if she looked pretty as well. Maybe it was just me being too soft, but I couldn't look at her and not answer, given that she had asked me directly, so I said yes. Her face lit up and she left the room to get a snack as well. Kate immediately rounded on me, telling me I was undermining her parenting, and I know we are not supposed to make those kind of comments. She said disregarding her wishes as a mother was bad enough, but lying to Zara is even worse and is going to set her up for failure in the future if she measures everything by appearances when she isn't good looking. I understand where Kate is coming from, I really do, and I said as much, but I just didn't have the strength to say anything else when Zara was standing right there. Kate is now mad at me and saying she isn't sure she wants me babysitting until I can respect her choices on how to raise her kid. My stepdad and mother are on my side, but my husband says I probably should have just redirected Zara to her mother given what Kate is like, and I probably did mess up a little bit. Was I that wrong? Again, I do understand where Kate is coming from, but in the moment I don't think I handled it that terribly. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. For 2 reasons. 1, it's exhausting following someone else's rules for social interaction for over a decade. Everyone makes mistakes or steps out of line occasionally. You can try your best, but frankly the whole social niceties around appearance are everywhere and everyone does them, and occasionally you'll trip up on this one. 2, your niece is being raised in a way that's highly likely to cause her to have disordered self-awareness. It's one thing to avoid forcing stereotypes and assumptions about appearance. It's another to openly say one thing to one child and not another in the moment. It's time you suggested that your sister-in-law get some help with this, or talk to your sibling and ask them to help round the support wagons for help again. Take this as a sign message that your sister-in-law is not over her issues. She's passing them on, and gently, kindly and lovingly work out how to help break this cycle with them. Comment 2. Totally not the idiot. I can't imagine how hurtful it would have been if you did give Zara a positive response. I can't help but wonder if it will be harmful in the long run for Zara to never receive positive reinforcement regarding her appearance. Let's be honest, how we present ourselves in society matters. If Zara doesn't receive any feedback that is body positive, she may develop body image issues because her peers will receive this type of feedback. And Zara, my question why she isn't worthy of being told she looks pretty/nice/good. This is exactly the thing Kate is trying to prevent, but she may inadvertently cause it by being so extreme in her demands to never comment on Zara's appearance. Just a thought. Comment 3. Not the idiot. It's not like you just said it. You saw a 5-year-old was upset about something and stopped her being upset about it. What worries me is this, and GT. She said disregarding her wishes as a mother was bad enough, but lying to Zara is even worse and is going to set her up for failure in the future if she measures everything by appearances when she isn't good looking. She is not preventing Zara from conforming to women's worth equal sign aesthetics. She is passing on her insecurities onto her daughter, which is going to be just as problematic down the line. She straight up called her daughter ugly. This is not aesthetic neutrality at all. Now for the update. Ever since that day with Zara, there's been this unspoken tension between Kate and me. But life has a way of shaking things up when you least expect it. And in this case, it opened a door we didn't even know was there. It all started when Zara got selected to play the lead in her school play. She was over the moon and insisted I come to the dress rehearsal. I wanted to support her, but was anxious about how Kate would react. I decided to go, determined to keep the peace and watch my niece shine on stage. Zara was captivating as the lead, and I could see Kate was brimming with pride, though she tried to keep her composure. After the performance, Zara ran up to us, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Did I do good?" she asked, breathless. Without thinking, I blurted out, "You were incredible." Kate's eyes met mine and I braced myself for the fallout, but to my surprise she nodded, a slight smile on her face. "Yes, Zara, you were," she said, her voice filled with warmth I hadn't heard before. On the drive home, Zara was asleep in the back seat, clutching her script like a treasure. Kate turned to me, and I knew it was the moment of truth. "I saw you today," she said quietly. "You were just being supportive. Maybe I've been too harsh about the whole aesthetic neutrality thing. Zara needs to hear that she can be pretty and talented and, I don't know, a whole person." I was floored. This was a huge step for Kate, and I told her so. We talked it out, really talked, and I understood her fears about raising a daughter in a world that can be cruel about appearances. We agreed that we'd work together to help Zara feel confident in who she is, without placing value solely on looks. Fast forward to today, and things have changed in ways I couldn't foresee. Kate's been more open, even asking for my opinion on things sometimes. Zara's confidence is through the roof, not just because of her looks, but because she feels supported in every way. And the real kicker? Kate asked me to be her partner in a mother-daughter charity event. It was a fashion show of all things, and we both walked the runway with Zara. Kate was nervous, but she did it for Zara. And when Zara said, "Mum, Auntie, you both look so beautiful," Kate hugged her tight and said, "Thank you, sweetie, we feel beautiful." I guess sometimes it takes a little nudge, or in our case a school play, to start healing old wounds and redefining relationships. We're not perfect, but we're learning and growing, and that's what counts. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. It's clear from the story that your intentions were to support Zara and celebrate her achievements, which is commendable and something any good parent or role model should strive to do. Your apprehension about Kate's reaction was based on previous experiences, which is understandable. However, you navigated the situation with grace and empathy, allowing for a positive outcome without compromising your values. Kate's eventual openness to your compliment and her vulnerability regarding her fears show that your approach may have been a catalyst for a much-needed conversation. It's important to recognize that parenting, especially in a world filled with judgment, can be fraught with insecurity and doubt. Your willingness to listen and your encouragement for Kate to support Zara's confidence is a sign of emotional intelligence and maturity. Moreover, by accepting the invitation to the charity fashion show, you're fostering a sense of community and cooperation, which are key in building strong, supportive relationships. Comment 2. Not the idiot. From your recount, it is evident that you acted out of a genuine desire to support Zara in her endeavours, which is something that should be encouraged. When dealing with sensitive situations like potential jealousy or competition between family members, it is crucial to handle the situation delicately, which you did. The fact that Kate was able to open up about her insecurities as a mother shows that you created a safe space for a productive dialogue. It's also worth mentioning that the fear of raising a daughter in a judgmental society is a legitimate concern for many parents, and acknowledging these fears is the first step towards overcoming them. Your story is a reminder that effective communication and showing appreciation for each other's efforts can lead to personal growth and stronger bonds. Furthermore, your participation in the mother-daughter charity fashion show demonstrates a commitment to role modeling positive behavior and the value of community engagement. Comment 3. Not the idiot. The story showcases a proactive approach to resolving interpersonal conflict and promoting positive reinforcement. Your decision to praise Zara's performance is an important aspect of nurturing her self-esteem and acknowledging her talents. Given Kate's initial reaction to Zara's selection as the lead, your concern was warranted. However, her subsequent response and willingness to open up about her parenting fears highlights the potential for misunderstandings to be bridges to deeper understanding when addressed with compassion. It's also significant that you didn't just leave the conversation at that, but took it a step further by agreeing to join the charity fashion show, which not only solidifies your support for Zara, but also reinforces the notion that actions speak louder than words. This story serves as a valuable lesson in not jumping to conclusions about others' reactions, and the power of extending an olive branch to foster unity and reassurance in relationships. Now, for the next story. I am a retired trapeze artist, 34-year-old female. My daughter, 6-year-old female, is enrolled in circus school. She loves it so much that she asked to see a Cirque du Soleil show as a birthday present. My husband, 37-year-old male, and I managed to get discount tickets to take her and 3 of her friends from circus school on a 2-hour drive to catch the nearest show. When I got there, I checked the company credits, and noticed a friend of mine, an acrobat from Belgium, was one of the performers. I hadn't seen him in years and sent him a message on Instagram just to say I was in the audience with my daughter and excited to see him. He replied almost immediately and told me to look for a stage manager after the show so we could say hi and I could take my daughter backstage, and so I did. Since he only invited my daughter and me, I didn't mention in my short message there were 3 other girls plus my husband, and I couldn't impose taking a small party backstage. My husband waited with the girls for about 20 minutes after the show was over while we toured backstage. My daughter was so happy. Yet she kept talking about it on the way home, and that's when I realized the other girls could be feeling left out. What do you know? The same night one of the girls' mothers called me to say her daughter came home crying because she didn't get to go backstage, and that it was very poor form on my part to invite them to a party and to exclude them from one of the experiences. I tried to explain how things played out, but she kept being aggressive, until I finally lost it and told her she had no right to call me and try to reprimand me, and should instead have a talk with her daughter about how to deal with such frustrations. My husband says I should not have instigated, and that in hindsight I shouldn't have split the party. Am I the idiot? Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Unpopular opinion apparently. Not the idiot. There are birthday and life experiences that people get individually, and nobody's under any obligation to change that just to spare people's feelings. During a birthday, only the birthday kid gets to blow out the candles, unless the birthday kid specifically asks others to do it with them. They're under no obligation or pressure to change that, and let others blow out their candles or help them blow the candles out. Same with presents. Only the birthday kid gets to open presents on their birthday. There is no obligation or pressure for the birthday kid to allow others to do so, or even help them. And we never say anything about kids that wave around brand new shiny toys or electronics on their birthdays and brag about them. But now it's wrong to brag about an experience that a birthday kid got on their birthday. Specifically because it was their birthday nonetheless? Nope. Your daughter got to go backstage at a show that you took her to for her birthday. The whys and hows don't matter, since it could have been that you could have gotten her backstage passes for her birthday since she's the birthday kid and not gotten them for others. It wouldn't have mattered. Comment 2. You're the idiot. It was your idea to go and take your daughter and her friends, who apparently must all have been 6 yo. You contacted your friend, which was fine, but when he invited you and your daughter, you took it on your own to determine if he could take the others, and you jumped at going without the others. You could have said, hey, thanks, but I'm here with 3 of my daughter's friend and my husband, so I don't know if we all can come in, or if you and I can just say hello. You opted for what was easiest, an invite for yourself and your daughter. Your husband is correct. You should not split the party since you were the one that put the party together. You know your daughter would have been heartbroken if the situation was switched where another mother took her daughter to an even tea that meant the world to her, and then she was told to wait outside while that mother took her daughter in to meet the performers and see behind the scenes. You probably should apologize to all of the girls and their mothers. It was a nice thought to take everyone, but you blew it big time, abandoning the others for yours and your daughter's benefit. Comment 3. Not the idiot you paid for and provided a wonderful party for a group of small children. If your husband watched the other kids, I'm hoping he knew where you were. This would be different if you had purchased a VIP ticket for yourself and your daughter only, and had planned to do this. But this was a spontaneous interaction with an old friend. Probably the best way to sell this to the other kids' parents is that you had an unplanned visit with a colleague you had not seen in years. And while you were reconnecting, they happened to show your daughter around because it was her birthday. Sadly, you have to do that. And the other mum was way out of line. If you're at an event and someone shoots a t-shirt to you out of a cannon, you don't throw it back because your friends didn't get a t-shirt shot at them. Now, for the update. I wish I were writing under better circumstances, but the past month has been a whirlwind of emotions. The fallout from the Cirque du Soleil night took turns I never anticipated. I hoped the tension would blow over, but it set off a chain reaction I couldn't control. About a week after the show, my daughter was quietly getting ready for school when I noticed the sparkle in her eyes was missing. It was subtle at first, but then it became apparent she was struggling. She wasn't her usual chatty self. I thought she was just having an off day, but then she came home with a bruise on her arm. Through tears, she confessed that one of her circus school friends, feeling hurt from being excluded that night, had lashed out at her during practice. Heartbroken, I tried reaching out to the other parents to mend fences, but the rift had grown too deep. The argument I had with the one mother had circulated among the group. The result, my daughter was now being ostracized. Her friendship with those dear friends unraveled in mere days. The situation at home escalated. My husband, who had been my rock through my trapeze career, started to withdraw. Our disagreements over how I should have handled the situation became a nightly routine. He reminded me that our daughter's well-being came before any old friend from my performing days. The guilt was crushing. If that wasn't enough, my former trapeze partner, the one who had been performing that night, reached out to me. He heard about the incident between the girls and felt awful that his invitation had caused such a rift. He even offered to talk to the girls, to try and explain the misunderstanding, but by then it was too late. The damage was done. Sadly, the pressures at home and the situation with my daughter's friends led to my husband and I deciding to seek counselling. We're trying to navigate these waters, but it's a reminder of how quickly joy can turn into heartache, how one night meant as a celebration can leave scars that take far longer to heal. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. It's clear from your story that you've been placed in a very difficult situation, and you've done what you can to try to resolve the fallout from the Cirque du Soleil night. It's unfortunate that the other parents have not been receptive to your attempts at making amends. It's concerning that the exclusion and subsequent physical altercation were allowed to happen. These issues reflect more on the other children and their parents than on you. The well-being of your daughter should indeed be the priority here, and it's commendable that you and your husband have decided to seek counselling to support your family through this. Remember, no one can control the actions of others, and sometimes, despite our best efforts, situations don't resolve as we would hope. What's important is that you are taking steps to ensure your daughter feels supported and loved through this ordeal. Comment 2. Not the idiot. The fact that your former trapeze partner reached out feeling guilty suggests that there may have been some miscommunications or misunderstandings surrounding the initial event. While it's unfortunate that they didn't reach out sooner, it's important to recognize that sometimes the consequences of our actions take time to become apparent. It's a mature decision to not hold on to resentment and to accept the late apology, acknowledging that we all make mistakes and that it's never too late to try to make things right. In addition, seeking counselling is a proactive approach to dealing with the emotional turmoil that the situation has caused, which is a sign of responsible parenting. It's also worth noting that social dynamics, especially among children, can be complex and hard to navigate, and the ostracization of your daughter is a reflection of larger issues at play within that community. Comment 3. Not the idiot. It's glaringly apparent that your daughter has become the unfortunate victim of a situation that she had no control over. The physical harm she suffered at the hands of a friend is particularly troubling. And while you've tried to mend fences, it's crucial that there be accountability for that behavior. It's a sign of strength, not weakness, to recognize when a problem is beyond one's personal ability to solve and to seek professional help. Counseling can provide your family with the tools necessary to cope with the ostracism and to strengthen your familial bonds in the face of external stress. You and your husband are showing a united front in prioritizing your daughter's emotional health, which is paramount. It's also important to identify that joy can indeed turn into heartache, but the resilience you're showing in dealing with these challenges is a powerful example to your daughter on how to handle life's unexpected difficulties with grace and determination. Now for the next story. Using a throwaway for evident reasons. I am a middle child. My older brother is the golden child and my sister is the baby and always got her way. I was mostly ignored. I was fine with it. I got into lots of trouble, but my parents didn't really care enough to either punish me or help me through it. My guidance counselor in high school took an interest in me, though. She saw something. I hope that everyone who needs it has someone like her. She saw that my parents didn't really get involved in my education. She stepped up. She helped me find out what I love. She motivated me enough that I got a full ride scholarship, which was good because my parents had nothing for me. I'm 30 now and planning my wedding. It's going to be a destination wedding because I want it small. We are paying for our 6 guests to come, my future in-laws, mum, dad, brother and sister, and my maternal grandparents. That's it. We are going to have a big party for friends and family when we get back. I'm not no contact with my family. I just don't make any effort to talk to them and they reciprocate. They did find out about the wedding though. They all want to come. I said that they were welcome and I sent them invitations. They asked if I needed anything to set up their travel plans. I said that they needed to get there on their own. They were invited, but I wasn't paying. They said that they had raised me better than that, and that I was paying for my fiancé's family, so I should pay for them too. Hard no. Hard. I told them that the fact was that my fiancé is the one paying. She earns about the same as me, but she has a settlement from her first marriage. I did not tell them about the settlement. They again said they raised me better than to ignore family. The same people who skipped my graduation from high school and university. I have a million other examples, but I think that says it all. I just replied that I was happy that they were interested in being part of my wedding day and that I hoped they could make it, but fully understood if they gave it a pass. I said that they were the ones who raised me to think of myself as not really being a part of their family, so I was actually behaving exactly like they raised me. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Considering they missed important events, you mentioned your graduations and then called and not only knew it was a destination wedding, but that your in-laws were being paid for. It sounds like they're after a free holiday, more than the chance to support and celebrate you. Congratulations on your wedding, and I hope you have a wonderful life together. Comment 2. Not the idiot, but I think you have a lot of hurt for how they treated you, and it's impossible not to. Also, it's odd that they expect you to pay for their travel under any circumstances, but in this case it's really nervy. You invited them, so your part is done. Now have an amazing wedding and life no matter what your parents do, or how they act towards you. Comment 3. Not the idiot, you are the Gen X of your family. I appreciate that final line where turnabout is fair play. My only question is, how did your family find out about your fiancée paying for her family members to attend? Now, for the update. It's been a month since I stood my ground about the wedding, and it's been the toughest month of my life. I never imagined that my decision would unravel things the way it has. The fallout was immediate and brutal. Within days, my parents launched a campaign to guilt me into changing my mind. They didn't just want to come. They expected me to foot the bill for the entire extended family, including aunts, uncles, and cousins I barely speak to. When I refused, they started to paint me as the ungrateful child in front of the whole family, twisting the narrative until I was the villain for excluding them. My relationship with my siblings crumbled. My older brother, who's always been the golden child, didn't even try to understand my point of view. He accused me of being selfish and breaking our parents' hearts. My sister, used to getting her way, threw a fit and said some of the most hurtful things I've ever heard. She claimed I was ruining what should be a family celebration out of spite, but the most heartbreaking update comes from my fiancé's side of the family. They were initially supportive, but the constant drama and pressure from my own family started to wear on them. My future in-laws began to question whether the strife was worth a destination wedding. The tension has caused some serious strain between my fiancé and me, as we navigate not only our family's expectations, but also the impact on our relationship. Amidst all of this, the one person who had been my rock, my guidance counsellor, passed away unexpectedly. The news hit me like a ton of bricks. I felt like I'd lost a vital piece of my support system just when I needed it the most, and now, as I sit here typing this, I'm at a crossroads. The small destination wedding we dreamed of feels tainted now, overshadowed by family politics and grief. I've spent nights awake wondering if sticking to my principles is worth all of this heartache. The excitement I once felt for my wedding has been replaced by a sense of dread and loss. I'm trying to hold on to the conviction that led me to make this choice, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't questioning if it was all worth it. Every day feels like a battle, and I'm just so tired of fighting. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Planning a wedding is a significant life event, and it is ultimately about the union of two people who love each other. It is not uncommon for family members to have opinions and desires regarding the event, but the final decision should rest with the couple. It's important to consider family traditions and values, but not at the expense of the couple's happiness and autonomy. The narrator's parents and siblings should respect their wishes and support their right to celebrate their wedding as they see fit. It's concerning that the parents are using guilt as a tactic to manipulate the situation. This is a form of emotional blackmail and is not a healthy way to resolve conflicts. As for the narrator's relationship with their fiancé's family, open and honest communication could potentially alleviate some of the strain. It's important to address the family drama with empathy and assertiveness, but the narrator should not be coerced into changing their wedding plans to please others. Lastly, the loss of their guidance counsellor is tragic and likely has compounded their stress. Nevertheless, that unfortunate event should not dictate how they choose to proceed with their wedding. It's okay to grieve and seek support, but the narrator's principles should not be compromised because of the pressures and challenges they are facing. Comment 2. Not the idiot. In any situation where familial pressure is causing distress, it is crucial to establish boundaries. The narrator has every right to have the wedding they envision, and the fallout they're experiencing is indicative of a deeper issue within their family dynamics, not a reflection of their actions. The accusations of selfishness from their siblings are particularly concerning. A wedding is a personal event, and while it's natural for family members to want to be involved, it's not appropriate for them to dictate or heavily influence the proceedings. It's also worth noting that the narrator's mental health and well-being are paramount. With the unexpected passing of their guidance counselor, they have lost a vital support system at a critical time. The family should be rallying around the narrator to provide support and understanding rather than adding to their stress. The narrator's relationship with their fiancé's family is also important, and while it's unfortunate that there is a strain there, the couple should work together to navigate these complexities. It's possible to acknowledge the feelings of both families while still maintaining the integrity of the couple's wishes for their wedding. The narrator is not responsible for the reactions of their family members, but is responsible for their own happiness and the health of their future marriage. Comment 3. Not the idiot. OP's decision to have their wedding their way is a testament to their integrity and commitment to their fiancé. It's essential to recognize that weddings should reflect the couple's values and personalities, not the desires of extended family members. It's regrettable that their stance has caused such turmoil, but the narrator is not to blame for the negative reactions of others. Families can have complex dynamics, and while it's understandable that the narrator's family may be disappointed or feel excluded, it's not acceptable for them to resort to guilt trips or personal attacks. In healthy relationships, differences of opinion are handled with respect and understanding, not with campaigns to change someone's mind through guilt and pressure. The narrator's decision to prioritize their relationship over family pressure is a difficult but brave choice. It's also worth mentioning that while the loss of a supportive guidance counselor is deeply sad, it should not be a reason to capitulate to family demands. It's okay to mourn and seek additional support, but not at the cost of their own happiness and the authenticity of their wedding. The narrator's commitment to their principles may be causing heartache now, but in the long run, it will likely lead to a stronger and healthier marriage, free from the resentment that could arise from not having the wedding they truly wanted. If you liked this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.